All right, strap in, everyone, because today we're diving deep into Skinwalker Ranch,
Oh, yeah, Skinwalker
a
Ranch.
place that I know you're pretty familiar with.
I am. It's a fascinating place.
It is. We're going to try to unpack what we can from a Popular Mechanics article.
Okay.
We've got the official Skinwalker Ranch website,
Right?
and we've even got a little clip from a History Channel YouTube video.
Wow. Okay.
So Skinwalker Ranch, it's in Utah. It's a paranormal hotspot.
It is.
Like, why is this place
Yeah, what is it about it?
gotten so much attention?
Right.
From scientists and the government to, History Channel, reality TV.
Yeah.
What is it about this place?
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that's always fascinated me is that it's been attracting attention for so long.
Right.
It goes way back, even before we talked about UFOs or anything like that.
It's not just a recent phenomenon.
No.
It's been going on for like a century.
For over a century, people have been seeing weird things.
I mean, there are newspaper reports from the early 1900s
That's right.
talking about strange occurrences, unusual noises coming from the property.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading one account from I think it was 1906 or something like that, where people were describing lights in the sky.
Oh, wow.
Like these unusual, almost like glowing orbs.
Glowing orbs.
And this is way before, people were thinking about spaceships or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
So it predates.
It's like the mystery was brewing long before we had the terminology for it.
Exactly.
But it wasn't just those isolated incidents.
Yeah.
Like, over the years, you've got numerous ranch owners reporting unexplainable activities.
Oh, yeah.
And that just keeps adding to its reputation, right?
It adds to the mystique, absolutely.
Like a place where the ordinary seems to vanish.
Yeah, like the laws of physics and nature as we know it just seem to kind of go out the window on this property.
That does feel like that.
It does.
Which I guess brings us to the name, right?
The name itself, Skinwalker Ranch?
Skinwalker Ranch, steeped in Native American lore.
That's right.
Specifically Navajo tradition.
Yeah.
And it refers to, these shape-shifting witches with malevolent intentions.
Yeah, it's not a friendly name.
No, it's not.
It sets the stage for something a little, eerie.
A little creepy.
Yeah, creepy, yeah.
So you've got this long history of weirdness, and then you get to the 1990s.
Right.
When Terry and Gwen Sherman buy the property.
Yep, the Shermans.
And their experiences.
They had it rough.
They weren't just spooky.
Yeah.
They were straight up terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, imagine finding your cattle mutilated.
Well, that's what they found.
But not just mutilated.
No, not just some random act.
Like with surgical precision.
Surgical precision.
Like they found their prized bull sliced open.
Yeah, I read about that.
Organs removed, and no footprints, no tire tracks anywhere near the carcass.
Like, how do you even begin to explain that?
Right. Like some researchers suggest that this could be a sign of, creatures with advanced technology.
Right, or some kind of unknown force.
Yeah, something beyond our comprehension.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the cattle mutilations.
Oh, no, it gets worse.
They were seeing these wolf-like creatures.
Oh, yeah, the stories about those creatures.
Well, defying the laws of physics.
Right. Larger than any wolf you'd ever seen.
Right.
And then just vanishing into thin air.
Gone.
Poof.
It's like, what?
It's crazy. It's like something out of a movie.
So, understandably, they decided to sell the property.
Yeah, I think I would have too.
In 1996, they sell it to Robert Bigelow.
Ah, Robert Bigelow.
Who is the billionaire behind Bigelow Aerospace.
Right.
Now, Bigelow, he didn't just want to own the ranch.
No, he was interested in it for a very specific reason.
He wanted to understand it.
He wanted to know what was going on.
So he founded the National Institute for Discovery Science.
NIDs.
To investigate.
That's right.
The paranormal activity.
He brought a whole new level of scientific rigor to it.
At Skinwalker Ranch, he brought science into it.
He did.
In a way that hadn't really been done before.
It was groundbreaking, really. I mean, his team, led by Colm Kelleher, they documented so many strange events.
Oh, yeah.
And Kelleher even co-authored a book about it.
Hunt for the Skinwalker.
That's the one.
Yeah, detailing some of their findings.
Really fascinating read.
I've heard it is.
Yeah.
But here's what's really intriguing.
Okay, what's that?
Bigelow's NIDS project.
Uh-huh.
It kind of morphed into something even bigger.
It did.
It became the Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies Program.
Wow.
And this program got funding from the Pentagon.
The Pentagon.
The government was actively involved in researching Skinwalker Ranch.
That's wild.
From 2008 to 2013.
Okay.
This program documented over 530 instances
530.
of paranormal activity.
Wow.
Witnessed by more than 150 people.
That's a lot of people.
That makes you wonder, right?
Yeah, what did they find?
What did they find that made the Pentagon so interested
Right.
in this, like, remote ranch in Utah?
Yeah, you got
Unfortunately,
what?
we don't have all the answers.
Oh, really?
Because a lot of the findings from Bigelow's research,
Mm.
they're still classified.
Classified.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really intriguing.
Like, some people believe that this secrecy
Yeah.
points to the government uncovering something extraordinary
Oh, like they're hiding something big.
that they're not ready to share with the public.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. It
As
does.
what happened next?
Well, in 2016, the ranch was sold again
Oh, wow. Who bought it this time?
to a successful real estate tycoon named Brandon Fugel.
Brandon Fugel. I've heard that name.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that Fugel,
Yeah.
he went into this with a skeptical mindset.
Really?
Like, he was a self-proclaimed skeptic,
Oh, wow.
and he intended to debunk the ranch's mysteries
Okay.
using, science
You're saying
and a
yes.
scientific approach.
Yeah.
He even considered donating the property for youth programs.
Oh, interesting.
But then
That happened.
his skepticism didn't last very long
Why? What changed his mind?
because he had his own encounter with the unexplained.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he see?
So Fugel and
Yeah.
two security guards,
Okay.
they witnessed this silver gray spaceship-like object
Oh, wow. A UFO.
moving erratically above the property.
Above the property.
Yeah, it was an experience that transformed him
I bet it did.
from a skeptic into a believer.
Yeah, seeing something like that with your own eyes would definitely do it.
Yeah, and this wasn't just a fleeting glimpse.
Nah.
Like, he described the object as defying our understanding of physics.
Like it was moving in ways that shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, like maneuvering in ways that no known aircraft could.
That's incredible.
And from that moment on,
Yeah.
Fugel dedicated himself
Dude.
to investigating the ranch's mysteries.
I see. He went all in.
Yeah, he invested heavily in technology, security,
Right. Yeah.
all to unravel the truth
The truth behind Skinwalker Ranch.
behind Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
But he didn't just stop there.
So what else did he do?
He wanted to share his findings with the world.
That makes sense.
So enter the History Channel series,
Oh, yeah, the show.
The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch,
The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. I've seen that.
which began airing in 2019.
Right.
And this brought the ranch's mysteries
Yeah.
to a mainstream audience.
It did. It became really popular.
It did.
A lot of people got interested in Skinwalker Ranch because of that show.
But Fugel insisted on complete transparency.
Oh, that's good.
Like, he used his own team of investigators
Okay.
and allowed cameras to document everything.
Nothing hidden.
Nothing hidden.
That's refreshing, actually. A lot of these paranormal shows, you never know what's real and what's not.
Right, exactly.
But it seems like he was really committed to showing the world what was happening on
Yeah.
the ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like he was inviting the world to join him on this quest for answers.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, let's talk about the technology. The technology they're using, because they've got some pretty impressive equipment out there.
Yeah, this isn't your average
Ghost hunting gear.
ghost hunting stuff.
No.
They've got advanced scientific instruments
Oh, yeah.
designed to capture data,
Uh-huh.
analyze the environment
In ways we've never seen before. I mean,
in ways we've never seen before.
we're talking hyperspectral imaging
Yeah.
to analyze light beyond the visible spectrum tachometers.
To measure magnetic fields.
You got it.
FLAR cameras to detect heat signatures.
It's like a paranormal CSI team out there.
It is.
Yeah.
They're even using ground-penetrating radar
Wow.
to map what lies beneath the surface.
They're not messing around.
No, they are not.
It's a scientific playground for the unexplained.
It really is, and what I find fascinating is that Fugel's not keeping all this data to himself.
Oh, no.
No, he's created a community of citizen scientists.
Citizen scientists.
Yeah, called
Oh.
Skinwalker Ranch Insiders.
Skinwalker Ranch Insiders. I've heard of them.
Yeah, over 10,000 members.
Wow. That's a lot.
Pay for access
To
to live camera feeds, data from the ranch.
Really?
They even get to control some of the cameras
Wow. That's amazing.
on the property.
That's like being part of the investigation.
It is. It's a pretty unique approach.
It is. It is.
You know, imagine you're sitting at home, scrolling through these live feeds
Yeah.
from Skinwalker Ranch, and suddenly you see something completely unexplainable.
Like what?
Like that incident at Homestead 2,
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
where the door slams shut on camera
With no explanation.
with no apparent cause,
Spooky.
no wind, no one around.
And the door just slammed shut from the inside.
Fall from the inside.
Makes you wonder
It does.
if there's something unseen at play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments that sends chills down your spine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you see that, you're like, what was that?
Exactly.
It's hard to explain away something like that.
It is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
Despite all this research,
Mm-hmm.
all this technology, all these eyes watching,
Yeah.
the true nature of Skinwalker Ranch
Yeah.
remains elusive.
It's still a mystery.
We have these intriguing occurrences, but no definitive answers.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
It's very frustrating.
You want to know what's going on?
We want answers.
But the ranch just keeps its secrets.
It does.
Yeah.
So what are some of the leading theories
Okay, so what are the possible explanations?
that try to explain the unexplainable at Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah, because there's got to be something going on, right?
Right.
I mean, you can't just dismiss all this evidence.
You can't.
So what are the theories?
Well, there's a wide range of possibilities,
Okay, lay it on me.
each more mind-boggling than the last.
I love it.
Some people believe it's extraterrestrial activity,
Aliens.
aliens,
That's why.
classic, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got others who suggest interdimensional beings
Interdimensional beings.
or advanced unknown technologies.
Oh, that. Okay.
They're at play.
Like what kind of technology?
We don't know.
Right, that's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah, unknown.
Unknown. And then, of course,
Yeah.
you've got those who attribute it
Yeah.
to spiritual or supernatural forces.
Ghosts, spirits, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
Okay, so we've got a lot of options on the table.
We do. It's a melting pot of speculation.
It is.
It's like the ranch itself
Yeah.
is a giant puzzle with pieces that don't quite fit together yet.
I like that analogy, the puzzle pieces.
Yeah. But before we try to, solve this puzzle,
Okay.
let's dive into some specific examples
All right, let's get into the specifics.
of the unexplained phenomena
Yeah, give me some examples.
witnessed at Skinwalker Ranch.
I'm ready.
So let's start with something that might be familiar to you from science fiction.
Okay, hit me.
The mysterious 1.6 gigahertz signal.
1.6 gigahertz signal.
Yeah, they keep detecting this signal on the ranch.
They do.
And some believe it could be an attempt at communication.
Communication. From what?
Perhaps from something or someone
Okay.
not of this world.
Ooh, that's getting interesting.
Now we're getting into the really intriguing stuff.
All right, let's unpack the signal.
Let's unpack it.
This 1.6 gigahertz signal.
See where it leads us.
Lead the way.
Well, what's fascinating
Yeah.
is that this signal seems to be linked to other events.
Other events.
Like, for instance,
Okay.
after broadcasting this signal from a local radio station,
They broadcasted the signal?
yeah, multiple people in the area
Uh-huh.
reported seeing unidentified aerial phenomena.
UAPs.
UAPs, yeah.
So they broadcasted the signal and then people saw UAPs.
Yeah, so coincidence.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But the timing is pretty suspicious.
It is suspicious. It's like something is trying to get our attention.
Like a response.
Like a response.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what other strange events
Okay, so we got the signal.
have been documented at Skinwalker Ranch?
What else is going on?
Well, there's the incident
Okay.
where Dragon and Tom Lewis
Dragon and Tom Lewis.
experienced some pretty intense physical effects.
Physical effects.
Yeah.
Like what?
While investigating near the mesa,
Okay.
they described feeling numbness, heart palpitations,
Wow.
even temporary blindness.
That's not good.
It's like the ranch itself
Yeah.
was reacting to their presence.
Like it didn't want them there?
It's a little creepy.
It is creepy.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds terrifying.
It does.
Like, what were they doing near the mesa?
Oh, what were they doing?
That might have triggered such a reaction.
Yeah, what set it off?
Well, they were drilling near the mesa,
Drilling.
trying to figure out
Okay.
what was inside this dome-shaped
Don't wait.
metallic object
A metallic object.
buried deep within.
Buried deep within the mesa.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking.
Its composition is unusual.
Really?
And there's speculation that it could be artificial in origin,
Artificial? You mean like
not natural.
made by something?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
We've got this dome-shaped metallic object
Yeah.
buried under the mesa.
Buried under the mesa.
It's like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie.
It really is.
So,
All right, so we've got UAP sightings.
Yeah.
We've got strange physical effects. And now we've got a mysterious metal
a
dome
mysterious metal dome
under the mesa.
under the mesa. What else?
Is this ranch hiding?
Does this ranch have up its sleeve?
Yeah. Spill the beans.
You're not going to believe this.
I'm ready. Tell me.
3D photogrammetry scans.
3D photogrammetry scans
3D photogrammetry scans.
of the area above the mesa
Okay.
have captured what appear to be aerial anomalies.
Aerial anomalies?
Yeah.
Like what?
And some are suggesting these could indicate the presence of portals.
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 Are we talking like interdimensional gateways?
That's one interpretation.
Whoa, okay, that's a big one.
It is.
Interdimensional gateways.
But as with everything at Skinwalker Ranch,
Yeah.
the evidence is open to interpretation.
Right, right.
Some remain skeptical, of course.
Attributing the events to natural phenomena or misinterpretations.
Yeah, you gotta have the skeptics.
Gotta have the skeptic.
Keep everyone honest.
But even the skeptics have to admit
Uh-huh.
that Fugel and his team
Yeah.
are approaching this investigation
With a level.
of scientific rigor.
They're not messing around.
That's hard to dismiss.
No, they're taking it seriously.
They are.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps the mystery of Skinwalker Ranch alive.
That's what keeps us coming back.
Despite all the research, we're still left with more questions than answers.
It's true. The more we learn,
Yeah.
the more questions we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the ranch itself is a giant question mark.
A giant enigmatic question mark.
And it's a question that continues to fascinate researchers,
Absolutely.
scientists, and the public alike.
It's a mystery that captures the imagination.
It does.
Yeah.
So it seems like we've only just scratched the surface of this mystery.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot more to uncover.
We do.
A lot more to explore.
But we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Stay with us, because when we come back,
Okay.
we'll delve deeper into some of the most intriguing and unexplained phenomena
I'm ready.
witnessed at Skinwalker Ranch.
Bring it on.
So we're back, and we've been talking about all this weird stuff happening at Skinwalker Ranch.
And it is weird.
But like,
It's really weird.
we've got the 1.6 gigahertz signal, physical effects being reported.
Right. It's like, where do you even start?
It's like the ranch is challenging our understanding of like how the world works.
It really is.
So where do we begin to try and make sense of it all?
Well, some researchers think that electromagnetic interference could be a big factor.
Okay, electromagnetic interference, like,
Yeah, like the ranch has this unusual electromagnetic field that messes with like everything, people and the electronics.
so like phones malfunctioning.
Exactly. Drones crashing, batteries draining, all that.
It's like the ranch has an invisible force field
Kind of, yeah.
that disrupts anything electronic.
Pretty.
Is there like any evidence to back that up?
Well, Eric Bard, he's the ranch's physicist.
Okay.
He's been doing these experiments with a super strong magnet.
A magnet.
Yeah, a rare earth magnet.
Okay.
And he's actually been able to replicate some of those effects, like the phone's going haywire.
Wow.
So it does seem like there's some kind of magnetic field anomaly at play.
So could this be responsible for some of the really out there stuff?
Like, what do you mean?
Like the UAP sightings?
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Could it be some kind of natural cloaking technology?
It's possible. I mean, some people think this magnetic field could be connected to interdimensional activity or even cloaked technology.
Right.
But we need more data
Yeah, we need more data.
to say for sure. And that's where Fugel's team is doing some incredible work.
Like with all the high-tech equipment they've got.
Oh, yeah. They've spared no expense.
No, they've got hyperspectral imaging, ground-penetrating radar.
They're really trying to study the ranch from every angle.
Like they're building a scientific fortress
Uh-huh. Yeah, kind of.
around the ranch to capture every bit of data.
They want to know everything.
And they're not keeping it all to themselves.
Right. They've got those Skinwalker Ranch insiders.
Yeah, the citizen scientists.
It's a really cool concept, actually.
It is. But do you think it could actually lead to a breakthrough?
I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But having more eyes on the data, you never know what they might find.
Right, like thousands of detectives working on the case.
Exactly. And that can't hurt.
Especially with all the mystery surrounding the ranch.
Oh, yeah. There's still so much we don't know.
So let's get back to that door slamming shut at Homestead 2.
Oh, yeah, that was freaky.
It seems like something out of a ghost story.
Right in the middle of all this high-tech investigation.
You see this door inside the homestead, and it just slams shut.
Out of nowhere.
No wind, no one around, closed from the inside.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
You mentioned earlier that some researchers think Skinwalker Ranch might be some kind of interdimensional doorway.
Yeah, some people believe that.
Could this be evidence of that?
Maybe. I mean, there's also that area they call the Triangle.
The triangle.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of strange aerial phenomena there.
Like more than other places on the ranch.
It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
They've done experiments, launched drones and rockets, and the data suggests something weird is happening in that spot.
Like there's a specific spot on the ranch where the veil between dimensions is thinner.
That's one way to look at it.
And what about those anomalies in the 3D photogrammetry scans of the triangle?
Right, it's like the technology showing us glimpses of something we can't normally see.
So we've got potential electromagnetic anomalies, UAP sightings in a specific area, possible interdimensional activity.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, and we can't forget about that metal dome buried under the mesa.
Oh yeah, that thing.
It's like Skinwalker Ranch is a giant onion of weirdness.
Haha, I like that.
Every time you peel back a layer, you find another one underneath.
But here's the real kicker.
What's that?
We have all this evidence of something unusual happening, but we still don't have any clear answers.
That is frustrating.
It's a reminder that there are things in this universe that we just don't understand.
Like, our current scientific models might not be enough to explain what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch.
It's possible we're trying to solve a puzzle with the wrong pieces.
But that doesn't mean we should give up.
Yeah, absolutely not. This is what drives scientific exploration.
It does.
Skinwalker Ranch is pushing us to expand our understanding of the universe.
It is. It's a reminder that there's still so much we don't know.
And that's both exciting and a little bit terrifying.
It is.
So let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about the people behind all this research.
Yeah, let's focus on the individuals who are trying to make sense of this enigma.
The people trying to crack the code.
Let's start with Brandon Fugel.
Okay, the man himself.
He's been the driving force behind so much of the research at Skinwalker Ranch.
He has. He's really taken charge.
So what's his story? What motivates him to keep digging into this mystery?
Well, he's not your typical paranormal investigator.
No.
He's a successful businessman, comes from a real estate background,
Oh, wow.
very pragmatic, analytical guy.
Okay.
And he went into this as a skeptic, you
All right, I
know?
wanted to debunk it all.
Exactly, but then he had that experience, whatever it was he saw.
Yeah, that changed everything.
It did. It turned him into a believer.
It's like Skinwalker Ranch chose him,
You could say that, yeah.
and he's poured a ton of money into the research.
He has, and he's put together this amazing team of experts.
From all different fields, right?
Oh, yeah, physicists, engineers, even a former military intelligence officer.
Like a scientific Avengers team,
Ah, I like that.
assembled to confront the unknown.
That's a good way to put it.
And they've got those Skinwalker Ranch insiders, too.
Right, the citizen scientists.
It's a really cool collaborative effort.
It is.
But what about the skeptics?
The people who say there's a rational explanation for everything.
Yeah, how does Fugel's team deal with them?
Well, they acknowledge that skepticism is important.
It is. It's part of the scientific process.
Exactly, and they're always looking for conventional explanations first.
So they're not just jumping to paranormal conclusions.
No, they're very rigorous.
That's
They're
good.
collecting data, analyzing it, trying to make it fit with what we know.
Uh-huh.
But when it doesn't fit,
Yeah.
they're not afraid to consider other possibilities.
That's a tough balance, though, right?
It is staying scientific, but also open-minded.
It is, but I want to hear more about the experiments they're doing.
Oh, yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff.
Like, what are some of the most interesting ones so far?
Well, there's that phantom laser experiment.
Phantom laser.
Yeah, they use this powerful green laser to scan the sky at night,
Okay.
hoping to see if it would interact with any UAPs.
Did they capture anything?
Well, not directly, but
Oh.
sometimes the laser beam would just stop in midair.
Stop. Like, hit something invisible.
That's what it looked like.
Whoa.
Pretty strange, right?
Yeah, like an invisible barrier or something.
It's one of the more interesting findings.
So what else have they done?
Well, they've used ground-penetrating radar a lot.
To map what's underground?
Exactly, that's how they found that metal dome.
Right. Any updates on that?
Not really, they're still figuring out how to get to it without messing anything up.
It's a delicate operation. It is. They don't want to rush it.
Makes sense. Have they found any underground tunnels or chambers?
Nothing conclusive yet.
It's like the ranch is holding its secrets tight.
It is, but they're not giving up.
Okay.
They're always coming up with new experiments, new technology.
Like what?
Well, right now they're using these super sensitive magnetometers to map the magnetic field in detail.
Oh, wow.
They want to see if there's a connection between that and the other weird stuff.
So they're like building a scientific puzzle piece by piece,
Got it.
but with each piece, new questions pop up.
That's the nature of science, isn't it?
It is. I'm curious, what are some of the biggest challenges they face out there? Well, for one, the phenomena are unpredictable.
Like, you can't just set up an experiment and wait for something to happen.
Exactly. It's all random.
It's like the ranch has a mind of its own.
It really does feel that way sometimes.
And what about all the data they're collecting?
Oh, yeah. That's another challenge.
They're using so many different instruments.
It's a ton of information to process.
It's data overload.
They've had to come up with new software just to handle it all.
Wow, but they're not letting that stop them.
No, they're determined.
They're in it for the long haul.
They are.
But the potential payoff is huge.
Oh, yeah, if they can figure out what's happening at Skinwalker Ranch.
It could change everything.
It really could.
But we've covered a lot,
We have.
electromagnetic fields, UAPs, interdimensional portals.
It's a lot to process.
It is. Maybe we should take a step back and try to make sense of it all.
Okay, good idea. Let's connect the dots.
So, what are some of the key takeaways from our discussion?
Well, it's clear that something unusual is happening at Skinwalker Ranch.
It's not just people's imaginations running wild.
No, we have eyewitness accounts, photos, videos, and now scientific data.
This is real, tangible evidence.
Exactly. And while we can't say for sure what's causing it,
Yeah.
the evidence points to something beyond what we currently understand.
Something that challenges our assumptions about what's real.
And that, in itself, is important.
It is. It's a humbling experience.
It is to realize that there are things out there that we just don't get.
It's like we're looking through a blurry window.
Trying to make out the shapes on the other side.
Yeah, maybe Skinwalker Ranch is what helps us clean that window.
And see clearly for the first time.
That's a great way to put it.
The future of research at Skinwalker Ranch is uncertain.
It is. It's a mystery.
But it's going to keep fascinating people for years to come.
Who knows what they'll discover next?
That's the exciting part.
It is. And it's a reminder that there's still wonder and mystery in the world.
And exploring that unknown is part of what makes us human. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Skinwalker Ranch, I encourage everyone to stay curious.
Never stop asking questions.
Exactly. The universe is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of the most enigmatic places on Earth.
It's been a pleasure.
And if you want to learn more, check out the sources we used for this episode. They're in the show notes.
Yeah, there's a lot more to explore.
And until next time, keep looking up at the stars and never stop asking questions.
All right, so we've explored a lot about Skinwalker Ranch, but I think now it's time to think about the so what?
The implications.
Yeah. Like, why should we even care about this one spot in Utah?
Right. Why does it matter?
I mean, if even a fraction of what we've talked about is true, it's huge.
It really is. It could change everything.
Like interdimensional portals, alien tech.
That would completely overturn our understanding of, well, everything.
It would. Like, imagine a world where we can travel between dimensions.
That's mind-blowing.
Or what if we finally make contact with another intelligent species? That would be a paradigm shift for humanity.
It would. It's almost overwhelming to think about.
It is. It is.
But even if the answers are more, down to earth.
More grounded, yeah.
Yeah, like some undiscovered natural phenomenon.
It's still pushing the boundaries of science.
It is. It's challenging us to think differently about what's possible.
It's making us question what we thought was real.
Right, and that's a valuable contribution to knowledge.
Absolutely, but it also raises some interesting questions, doesn't it? Like, what if the answers are beyond our ability to understand?
Oh, you mean, like, what if we're not smart enough to figure it out?
Kind of, yeah. Like, what if our current tools and thinking just aren't equipped to deal with whatever's happening at Skinwalker Ranch?
I mean, that's a pretty humbling thought.
It is. It's humbling, but also exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah, because it means we need to come up with new ways of looking at the universe.
Like a whole new scientific revolution.
Exactly. And Skinwalker Ranch, with all its strangeness, could be the catalyst for that.
It's like we're looking through a blurry window right now.
Trying to make out the shapes on the other side.
And maybe Skinwalker Ranch is what helps us clean that window.
And see clearly for the first time.
I like that.
The future of research at Skinwalker Ranch is uncertain.
It is. But it's going to keep people fascinated for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. It's a mystery that just keeps giving.
It does. And I think this deep dive has shown us that there's still so much wonder and mystery in the world.
There is. And exploring that unknown, that's part of what makes us human.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this journey
It's been a pleasure.
into one of the most enigmatic places on Earth.
One of the weirdest, that's for sure.
If you're as fascinated by Skinwalker Ranch as we are,
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
we encourage you to check out the sources we used.
They're linked in the show notes.
And until next time, keep looking up at the stars
And keep asking questions.
and never stop asking questions.